And especially in those come-from-behind situations, he needs to settle down, get the ball early to receivers David Boston and Frank Sanders. If they're going to succeed today, I think they got to get out of the gates early.
Well, the crowd here in Dallas is ready. They cheer Troy Aikman during the introductions, and we'll have the opening kickoff in a moment. Cardinals have won the last two, including a 32-31 come-from-behind victory over Dallas Week 2. And the Cardinals have lost their last 10 regular season games here, although Vince Tobin's club did win a playoff game here in Dallas 2 years ago. And Dave Campo on the right in his first season as Cowboys head coach. Both teams with records of 2-4. Jason Tucker, who set a club record last week, 205 kickoff return yards, including a 90-yard return against the Giants. Tucker back deep for the Cowboys as Dallas native Carrie Blanchard gets set to kick off for the Cardinals. Blanchard is ready, and we are underway. Some trickery on the opening kickoff from Vince Tobin and the Cardinals. The ball popped loose, but the question is, was he down?
I don't think it was any trickery. I think he just slipped, Kenny.
Although his teammates did motion to the right side just prior to the kick.
Yeah, I think Blanchard just slipped. The field's been wet, as you said. It's been raining in Dallas for a couple of days now. They had the field covered. I think if you watch his left foot, his plant foot, you're going to see right there that thing just slides out.
So good field position for the Cowboys. They start from their own 43-yard line. On first down, it's Emmitt Smith up the middle to the 48, a gain of 5 yards before the tackle by Ronald McKinnon. 2nd and 5 upcoming for the Cowboys. Troy Aikman, 5 interceptions last week against the Giants, 4 in the first half. He's 16-4 lifetime against the Cardinals. 3 perennial Pro Bowlers, Allen, Stepnowski, and Williams. Smith with Thomas in the backfield, McKnight and Ismail, the wide receivers. And the tight end is David LaFleur. On 2nd and 5, Smith looks to cut to the outside. He broke the first tackle attempt by Pat Tillman and was finally taken down by Brad Otis after a gain of 3. 3rd and 2 upcoming for the Cowboys. Cardinals without 4 starters defensively, so Russell Davis, the former Bear, starts at right tackle. Mautosi, the rookie, his first career start at left tackle. Rutledge and Walls replacing the injured Ray Thompson and Rob Fredrickson. The secondary is healthy with Knight and Williams on the corners, Lassiter and Tillman the safeties.
This 3rd and short is where they've gone to Chris Warren a lot of the time.
Well, this time Aikman looking for the tight end Jackie Harris, and he could not hold on, so the Cowboys go 3 and out on their opening drive and will punt it away.
This is the kind of play, Kenny, that I was talking about earlier with Aikman, where you've got to have your timing with your receivers, and your receivers have to make catches, and you have to be on as well. Aikman on that time, Jackie Harris just dropped it.
Matt Cody, who led the NFC in punt return yardage last year, awaiting Micah Noor's kick. Noor, a rookie, leads the NFC in punt average.
Let's go, let's go.
And his kick takes a Cardinals bounce into the end zone for a touchback, 49 yards out of Arizona State. Plummer, 18 of 24, career best 75% completion ratio against the Cowboys earlier this season. Chris Dishman starts at left guard for the injured Matt Joyce, who is out. Pittman and Makovica in the backfield. David Boston and Frank Sanders, a good pair of wide receivers. And the tight end is Terry Hardy. On first down from the 20, Pittman is wrapped up by the right defensive end, Greg Ellis. Short gain on the play. 2 yards for Pittman on first down. 2nd and 8 coming up. Ellis, who made the stop with Hennings, Lett, and Spellman. Hambrick, Wortham for the injured Datwin, and Coakley are the linebackers. McNeil and Sparks, the corners. Teague and Woodson, the safeties. Second and 9 off the play fake to Pittman. Plummer hits the tight end Terry Hardy, but he's brought down after a gain of only 4 yards by the linebacker Darren Hambrick. So it will be 3rd and 5 for the Cardinals.
Well, this is just a little bootleg play, and on this play, I think they want to take advantage. They saw Greg Ellis coming down the line hard on the play before, so this time fake the run, roll out, and then just spring Terry Hardy out into the flat. But Hambrick is all over. That's nice, disciplined defense by Hambrick.
Cowboys the worst 3rd down defense in the NFL, although they were better last week against the Giants. Plummer on 3rd and 5, can't find anyone, dumps it off to Pittman, but Ryan McNeil, the right quarterback, was right there to stop him 3 yards short of the first down marker.
And again, it's excellent discipline by the Cowboys defense. On this play here, Ryan McNeil, he starts out here at the bottom of the screen. Watch him, he's just going to settle into his zone here. So he lets the receivers run themselves off, and when the other running back slips out in front of him, he's there to make the tackle. Nice reaction, and that's the way you have to stay home.
First punt of the day by the Cardinals, Scott Player. It's a short kick, but it does take an Arizona roll all the way down to the 25-yard line. But a penalty flag on the field, a 47-yard punt by Player. Bernie Kukar is our referee this afternoon. It's against the Cardinals.
Cardinals are the least penalized team in the NFL, but then in last week's game against Philadelphia, they had, what, 10, 8-10? I mean, which really could have cost them the game early on.
They averaged only 3 penalties per game over their first 5, and then had the troubles last week. So Player will do it again. Here's Bernie Kukar. We apologize for the audio problems. #39, Dennis McKinley, the guilty Cardinal. So now Player setting up inside his own 10.
McKinley was penalized for for being downfield, but I think they also called Jenkins on the outside for being knocked out of bounds and then being the first one to touch the ball when he came back in. So the Cowboys declined that first penalty and they accepted the second one.
And there is Marte Jenkins. Player from the 12. And a fair catch called for by Wayne McGarity at the 37-yard line. Another flag, a 41-yard kick by Player. Again, it's against Arizona. As you mentioned, the Cardinals, the least penalized team in the NFL, off to an auspicious start here in Dallas. They average only 4 flags per game.
On the kicking team, illegally downfield, that's a 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
2 penalties in the first 4 minutes here today, forcing Player even deeper. This time he'll be kicking from inside his own 5. So another chance for McGarity, who returned a punt 64 yards for a touchdown against the Cardinals week 2. The 3rd try. And McGarity takes it at the 43. So again, terrific field position. No flags this time. A 40-yard kick. Troy Aikman and the Cowboys back to work from their own 43-yard line.
Cowboys with David LaFleur, the tight end, there in the backfield.
Two tight ends set, LaFleur and Harris. Jackie Harris in motion. Aikman to the air on first down, of the pass incomplete. The intended receiver, James McKnight. Tom Knight on the coverage.
And this is part of the problem that James McKnight has exhibited so far this season. Just a little bit of inconsistency here. He's going to come up and he's going to make a break to the inside here. And, you know, he just slips. I mean, he slips and then he drops the ball, and that's the kind of inconsistency that has opened up an opportunity for Damon Hodge, the rookie, undrafted free agent from Alabama State. We'll see him later.
On 2nd and 10, Emmitt Smith runs right into the arms of Russell Davis. Short gain on the play, so it will be 3rd and 9 for the Cowboys.
Well, Russell Davis just runs right around his block here. Watch him. He just comes right around Mark Stepnowski, the center, and runs right downfield and makes a play. Davis was cut after training camp with the Chicago Bears and then picked up by the Cardinals. Cardinals demoted their regular starter, Mark Smith, and then Tony McCoy is also hurt. So they've got 2 new starters in here in the middle of the formation.
Aikman on 3rd and long, and the pass was behind the tight end, Jackie Harris.
It almost looked like Brad Otis got a hand on that pass.
Matt Cody back deep.
So again, Kenny, the Cowboys passing game flopping around mostly because of a lack of timing.
Aikman starting 0 for 3. Cody lets it go, and it bounces out of bounds at the 22. Took off the Met jersey and put on a Cowboys uniform. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals as the handoff goes to Michael Pittman, and he works his way up to the 28-yard line. A gain of 5. Darren Hambrick made the stop.
Boy, that was a nice tackle by Hambrick. I mean, he lowered his center. He drove right up through Pittman. You know, Pittman is a strong runner, and I think when you tackle a strong runner, you want to tackle him strong, and that's what Hambrick does on this play. Watch it. Look at that. Just lifts him right off his feet.
2nd and 5 from the 28. It's Pittman again. Good second effort. Has the first down. It's the first down of the game. George Teague made the tackle, a gain of 9. And for an update on the Rams and the Chiefs, let's send it to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Kenny and Tim, since '89, the Chiefs are 18-3 against the NFC. They're starting off well here, picking off Kurt Warner, his 9th pick of the season. That by James Hasty. Rookie running back Frank Burrow takes it over for the score, 7-0 KC. And they've got the ball again. Back to Kenny Albert. And Tim, did you hear Terry with his poetry this morning?
You know, JB, I was going to mention, I thought the Rams offense would be inspired by that poetry. Alfred Lord Tennyson would have been proud.
Written by Terry and Torrey. Terry Bradshaw and Torrey Holt combining as Darren Hambrick and Ryan McNeil combine on the tackle after a 2-yard pickup by Michael Pittman. So it will be 2nd and 8 for Jake Plummer and the Cardinals, who have had major problems in the first quarter this year.
Well, we talked about it earlier, Kenny. Jake Plummer has been at his best when he's coming from behind, when he's in critical situations. If they're going to work methodically down the field and score, I think Pittman's going to have to do a lot of it on the ground.
Sanders coming in motion on 2nd and 8. The handoff goes to the fullback, Joel Makovica. Only his 2nd carry of the year, Leon Lett made the tackle, a gain of 2.
Now, part of the reason why the Cardinals need to have their run game working is because they're really limited in their passing formations to 2 wide receivers. They really only have a lot of confidence in David Boston. There's Mark Trestman, the coordinator, in David Boston and in Frank Sanders. So they're in a 3rd down, 3rd long situation here. They're with regular people. They got Makovica down here, a fullback, and they've got Hardy, a tight end, out here.
3rd and 6. And the pass is caught for a first down. David Boston, who grew up here in Texas, his family still lives here in the Dallas area. A gain of 7 and a Cardinals first down.
This is just a quick slant by Boston. This is the kind of play he should make. Now he's running right into double coverage. He's got Sparks underneath and he's got Teague over the top. But Boston is a big, physical, talented player. And that's the kind of play Michael Irvin used to make for the Cowboys, and it's the kind of play Boston has to make for the Cardinals.
Plummer starts 4 for 4. Off the play fake to Pittman. Plummer under pressure, takes off into Cowboys territory, still on his feet, and he dives to the 39-yard line, a gain of 13 yards.
Kenny, this is that element that quarterbacks, I think, are going to have to be in that upper echelon in the next millennium. Plummer, you think about McNabb, you think about Culpepper. They've got this incredible mobility, and they have the ability to pull down the pass in the passing game and then turn it into a first down with the run.
Plummer was the Cardinals' leading rusher in their loss to the Eagles last week with 43 yards on the ground. From the Cowboys 39, Pittman cutting to the outside, penalty marker on the play as Pittman gains 6. Ryan McNeil made the tackle.
I think that's going to go against Terry Hardy, the tight end. He was trying to seal the outside. It's either going to be Hardy or the wide receiver, because they were trying to give Pittman the corner, and they gave it to him, but they grabbed on to do it.
Holding. 81 offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
It wasn't Hardy, it was the wide receiver, Frank Sanders. But I think they could have gotten Hardy as well. They got, watch Hardy right here. Watch what he does to the defensive end, Pepe Zellner. See that hand there? You see why I thought he got called for holding? But then Sanders, here's Sanders here. So both those guys trying to give the corner. Actually, Hardy's hold was worse than Sanders'.
But only Sanders was caught. 1st and 20 from the Dallas 49. Plummer over the top to Pittman, and he's tackled at the 45. Nice job by Baron Wortham, the middle linebacker, filling in for the injured Dat Wynn.
The Cowboys defense, Wortham has played most of the season, and he's played very well. And I think the difference between the Cowboys defense and the Cardinals defense is the Cowboys defense is starting to get healthier, and where they aren't healthy, they've got some pretty good backups.
While the Cardinals are missing 4 starters on defense today, there's Mike Zimmer, the Cowboys defensive coordinator. 2nd and 16 from the 45. Plummer's pass deflected and picked off by Felipe Sparks. Sparks down the sideline, and Plummer makes the tackle. 2nd interception of the year for Sparks, who grew up in Phoenix, attended Arizona State, and he returns it 49 yards.
Well, Chad Henning just blew right up through the center of the pocket and timed it up perfectly. Watch Henning right here. He comes up, he splits his block, jumps up, comes up with a big play. And then it's a nice job by Jake Plummer, who's the only guy with the speed on that side of the field to run Sparks down and keep this from turning into a touchdown.
Emmitt Smith down to the Cardinals 7, and some extracurricular activity as a punch was thrown by Simeon Rice on the tight end David LaFleur.
No, this is just the kind of play the Cowboys have to have, I think, to win this game. And LaFleur is a symptom of it. They need to be physical. They need to control the line of scrimmage and run Emmitt Smith right down this defense's throat.
2nd and 2 from the Cardinals 8-yard line with the fullback Robert Thomas leading the way. Emmitt Smith down to the 1. Picks up the first down, setting up 1st and goal from the 1-yard line for the Cowboys.
These guys are answering the call now. I mean, they knocked Brad Otis's helmet right off. You can see the explosion in the line of scrimmage by this Cowboys offensive line. Watch the surge here. Look at the hole open up. Look at that. Lots of space for Emmitt Smith to run.
Number 94, Michael Myers, lined up as a blocking tight end. Emmitt Smith, touchdown. Emmitt Smith extending his NFL record, his 141st career rushing touchdown. He has also reached the end zone in 5 consecutive games. Tim Cedar for the point after. So the Cowboys capitalize on the Plummer turnover. Felipe Sparks, the long return. Emmitt Smith, the Dallas touchdown.
Smith delivers the knockout blow. Watch him blast right through the defenders for the touchdown.
Now number 94, Michael Myers, a backup defensive lineman, was used as a blocking tight end on the play, helping clear the path into the end zone for Emmitt Smith. Marte Jenkins has trouble in the end zone. So the Cardinals will start from their own 20-yard line, trailing the Cowboys by 7. Nothing late first quarter. The 49-yard interception return by Felipe Sparks, setting up the Emmitt Smith 1-yard run into the end zone.
You know, but before that interception, Jake had this offense working. They had the run game going and the pass game.
1st and 10 Cardinals from their own 20-yard line. Michael Pittman cutting to the outside, fumbles the football. And it looks as if the Cardinals have recovered. Chris Dishman, the left guard, falls on the Pittman fumble.
You know, and this, as much as anything, Kenny, has been the death of the Arizona Cardinals this season. It's turnovers. One of the worst turnover ratios in the league. Pittman's got the ball, and Michael Myers does a great job just coming up and popping it out of there. You know, he fails to get his hand on the tip of the ball. That's what you have to cover the tip of it with your hand, and Michael Pittman didn't do it on that play.
A loss of 12, and Plummer calls timeout, facing 2nd and 22 from his own 8-yard line. 2.5.
Cowboys in Arizona, the Cardinals had the lead.
Right here, 2nd and 22. Cardinals spreading the field with 3 wide receivers. And Plummer's pass is caught by Sanders out of bounds at the 14-yard line, a gain of only 6. So it will be 3rd and 16 upcoming for Arizona.
One of the things the Cardinals want to do, they want to get the ball into Frank Sanders' hands more. But David Boston is their premier guy, and it's very tempting to constantly go to him. But Sanders, over the past couple of years, has been their money guy. When it's a critical situation, his hands are certain, and even when teams double him, he has a knack of getting open.
He caught only 1 ball last week against the Eagles. 3rd and 16. The Cardinals need to get to the 30-yard line for a first down. Plummer was under extreme pressure. He dumps it off to Pittman, but he is stopped for a loss of 3 yards on the play by Joe Bowden and Dexter Coakley.
Kenny, this is just a poorly executed screen pass. I mean, this was supposed to go to Pittman. He's supposed to come out here, but they let the defensive line of the Cowboys come back much too quickly. And then what happens with Wortham is he's got man-to-man coverage, so he's all over Pittman. Or sorry, it was Bowden.
Scott Player in his own end zone. His first punt was 39 yards. McGarity from the 41 into Cardinals territory. He brought one back against Arizona earlier this season, and he will do it again. His second punt return for a touchdown against the Cardinals this year. A 59-yard return by Wayne McGarity.
Vision and speed. Vision to see where the holes are, and speed to accelerate upfield right into the gut of the defense.
Tim Cedar adds the point after. Cowboys 14 and the Cardinals nothing.
Watch McGarity, he sets it up, he sees it, and watch him just run straight north and south. It's that direct line of speed that confounds the defenders trying to get the appropriate angle to tackle him.
McGarity in his second season out of the University of Texas. He missed 2 games with a sprained right ankle, returned last week against the Giants. And he has punt returns of 64 and 59 yards for touchdowns against the Arizona Cardinals this season. So this 83rd consecutive sellout. They cheered Troy Aikman during the pregame introductions, as Dave Campo and the Cowboys had hoped, and they have a lot to cheer about in the first quarter.
I thought it was a great move by Dave Campo to make an appeal to the Cowboys fans in the paper during the week and say, look, we need you. We need you to be behind us, and if you're behind us, you can actually help us win.
Marte Jenkins, a Cowboys draft pick last year, and Jenkins takes it back to the 32-yard line. A 27-yard return. Charlie Williams made the tackle. Tonight on Fox, starting at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific.
University of Texas pitcher. Of course, everyone's talking about the last time he faced the Mets. He beamed Piazza right in the head. That was a great game last night.
Terrific game. 12 innings, ended after 1 a.m. on the East Coast. Plummer's pass is dropped. David Paulston would have had the first down out near midfield. And for an NFL update, take it away, JB.
Take a look at the special teams of Kansas City doing the job here. Brian Baker hasn't had to punch that is much this year. Blocked by Brian Baker. Mike Cloud takes it in for the score. It is 20-0 Kansas City over St. Louis. Let's take it back to Kenny and Tim.
Thanks very much, JB. The Rams have scored in every quarter this season. That streak is in jeopardy as they trail the Kansas City Chiefs 20-0 late in the first quarter at Arrowhead. Thomas Jones, the first-round pick out of the University of Virginia. His first carry today, a gain of 4 yards.
You know, that Rams offense, though, it is the best offense in the history of the game ever. It really is. And so being down 20-0 for a lot of teams would be devastating, but not for the Rams. Being down 14-0 isn't pretty here for the Arizona Cardinals. But again, Jake Plummer has always performed at his best in a come-from-behind situation.
And Plummer said this week, we seem to play better when we're down by 20 points in the fourth quarter. Well, they're down by 14 in the first. Plummer nearly picked off for a second time.
I think they need to stay with their game plan. They need to achieve balance with the run game and the pass if they're going to come back and win this thing.
Fair catch called for by McGarity at the 20.
And he said, look, we'll break down the season. A lot of coaches do it. We're going to break this season down into 4 quarters like a game. First quarter wasn't very good, but the second quarter, if we can go 500, we can climb right back into this thing.
14-0 lead here today for the Cowboys as the pitch goes to Emmitt Smith. Smith across the 35 to the 36, a gain of 9 before he was taken down by Kwame Lassiter and Johnny Rutledge.
You know, this is exactly what I was talking about, Kenny. I know that Dave Campo and Jack Riley, the offensive coordinator, saw what happened after the Felipe Sparks interception. They got it down in the red zone, and they just hammered the ball with Emmitt Smith behind that offensive line. What that's going to, there's Jack Riley right there. What that's going to do is now you're second short, you can run a play action and make the passing game a lot easier.
2nd and 1. The handoff to Emmitt, and he picks up the first down. A gain of 3. Ronald McKinnon made the tackle. And the Cowboys offense continuing to hear the cheers from the crowd.
You know, one thing I'm expecting to see a little bit more of, or a lot more of today from this Cowboys offense, is Rocket Ismail. Kind of disappeared last week. He's had kind of a low-key season, but this week he practiced all week.
And he's the healthiest he's been all season. Emmett up the middle to the 46. Picks up 7 more yards, setting up 2nd and 3.
And Kenny, right now, you know, they're just controlling the line of scrimmage. They own the line of scrimmage. Watch Larry Allen. Look at the double team. And look, did you see that thing open up? I mean, the space was just vacated. The Cowboys' offensive line is just, there's Larry Allen. I mean, he's at the center of it. They're just blowing the Cardinals off the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 3, Smith again. Another Cowboys first down. Down to the Cardinals' 44-yard line. A gain of 10.
I think the Cowboys, watch it, they're just going to run it right up the pipe here. Look at that hole. Look at that hole. You know, no offense to you or anything, but you could have run through that thing.
I'm not so sure about that.
No, you could have. And look how big that thing is. I mean, that is a massive space in the middle of a defense. Well, they may not pass the ball. They may just keep running it.
Aikman has not yet completed a pass. He's 0 for 3. Emmett averaging over 5 yards per carry, this time wrapped up by Lassiter. Cardinals defensive line still without Andre Wadsworth. He underwent knee surgery in July. Tony McCoy is out today with a knee injury. Mark Smith taken out of the starting lineup. So 3 of their expected starters this season not in today.
They just put Mark Smith back in, I think, to try to stem the flow of the bleed. Actually, they've got 5 defensive linemen in right now, the Cardinals up front, to try to stop this run game. See this right here? There's 5 of them right here. And they're in there. 5 defensive linemen to try to shut this run thing down.
Only 2 linebackers. The end around. Rocket Ismail on 2nd and 8. Picks up the first down. His 7th carry of the season. He gains 11.
This is great play calling by the Dallas Cowboys. You see the 5 defensive linemen. You know the determination to stop the run in the middle of the field. So you just run a little reverse play here, and the whole thing opens right up. The focus of the defense is in the middle, and the Cowboys run to the outside.
The 11-yard pickup for the Rocket. Chris Warren takes the pitch on first down. Warren still on his feet. Chris Warren into the end zone. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 32-yard touchdown run. Warren's first rushing touchdown this season.
Wow. Well, the Cardinals defense last week tackled very poorly, and that's what happened on this play. It was just absolutely abominable tackling by the Cardinals defense and strong running by Chris Warren.
Troy Aikman has not completed a pass today, yet the Cowboys have a 3-touchdown lead. It's now 21-0 Dallas. Emmitt Smith and now Chris Warren getting the job done. It's the first rushing touchdown by the Cowboys this year other than Emmitt Smith. Jenkins back deep for the Cardinals, who trail the Cowboys 21-0. Early second quarter from Texas Stadium. Here's Jenkins from the 3. Jenkins taken down at the 31-yard line by Mario Edwards, a 28-yard return. So the Cardinals go back to work offensively, trailing by 21 points.
Kenny Albert back to this touchdown play. The Cardinals come with their 5 defensive linemen, so the Cowboys take the run to the outside. You're going to see a couple missed tackles here that are pretty ugly. Here's Tommy Knight, 22. He comes up, and then he misses Warren, and then there's Kwame Lassiter, the safety, and he misses Warren, and then it's all over.
First and 10 for the Cardinals. Thomas Jones is tackled behind the line of scrimmage by Baron Wortham using his speed.
Yeah, he's using his speed, and also now with a 21-point lead, the Cowboys defense can play very aggressive up front. And so what Wortham can do is he can just shoot the gap. He's not worried if the guy gets outside, so he can take a chance and see him shoot up through the gap there and make the tackle. He doesn't have to worry about, well, what happens if the guy gets outside and I miss my angle. So nice aggressive decision by Wortham.
Norberto Davids Garrido in at right guard for the Cardinals, replacing Lester Holmes, who aggravated his groin injury. Penalty markers.
Ball start, 67 offense. The 5-yard penalty, still second down.
That's the left guard, Chris Dishman.
There's Dishman right there. Cardinals appear to be falling apart at the moment. The other thing that lead enables the Cowboys defense to do, they can just drop both safeties back. They can play that too deep, that cover two. They can afford to take these two guys here and double the receiver there and double the receiver over there.
Second and 16, more flags.
Okay, Jake, we got a...
Offside, number 90, unabated towards the quarterback. The 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Alonzo Spellman.
Oh, looking for the jump, and he's trying to anticipate here. And the reason why they stopped the play is because he did have a free shot to the quarterback.
So the Cardinals gain back the 5 penalty yards. Second down and 11. Plummer's pass is caught. Thomas Jones out of the backfield up to the 38-yard line, a gain of 8 yards on the play. So it will be 3rd and 3 for Jake Plummer and the Cardinals, who trail 21-0.
Surprisingly, the Cardinals are in a short yardage offense here. They took Frank Sanders off the field. This is where Frank Sanders is at his best.
Chris Gedney, the tight end, in motion. 3rd and 3. Plummer to the outside. And he picks up the first down to the fullback, Joel Makovica. He needed 3. He gained 5.
Well, that was a nicely executed pass play by Jake Plummer. And I think for Plummer, you know, they're getting started again a little late. A lot of it's because of the special teams turnover and the weakness on their defense. But he needs to be able to sit in the pocket, dissect the defense, understand it, and then find the weakness and deliver the ball as he did on that 3rd down conversion.
Plummer 9 of 12, but only 36 yards in the air. Looking for more on this one. David Boston, the intended receiver. Ryan McNeil on the coverage.
Pass intended for number 89, David Boston.
Yeah, McNeil did a really nice job of getting upfield. See, because again, with that lead, McNeil doesn't have to worry about the underneath thing. He could just turn and run and get upfield in front of David Boston and take away the big play. Strategically,
Cardinals had 12 men
Illegal
in the huddle.
substitution and in a huddle on the offense. 5-yard penalty, and second down.
And strategically for this Cardinals team right now, as they, you know, commit another penalty. That's their 5th so far today. I mean, they're going to have some guys come up with some very big plays, because the Cowboys are going to be able to double cover to the outside or play their coverage deep to the outside. And so, you know, David Boston, Frank Sanders, they're going to have to come up with some spectacular big plays to win this thing.
3 receivers on 2nd and 15. And a nice catch on the near sideline. Matt Cody for a gain of 13. So it will be 3rd and 2 for the Cardinals. But first, an NFL update with James Brown.
Kenny and Tim, take a look on a 4th down play by St. Louis. Marshall Faulk, 7th rushing touchdown of the season. That capitalized a 14-play, 80-yard drive. Well, we can say culminated as well. They're now trailing 20-7. Back to Kenny and Tim.
Thanks, JB. And Kenny, it's just what we talked about. That offense is so powerful that they don't have to panic behind 20-0.
Nope. Baron Wortham again coming up to make the stop on 3rd and 1. Michael Pittman took the handoff and was stopped shy of the first down marker.
You know, this is just a nice job of Wortham by reading it. He scrapes outside the tackle, Anthony Clement, and he makes a play. Wortham's having a really nice day today.
Wortham making his 4th start of the year. And the Cardinals will go for it on 4th and 2.
You'd think they'd want to roll Jake out of the pocket on this one.
Pittman stopped. Joe Bowden, the first Cowboy to reach Pittman, a loss of 3 yards, and the Cowboys will take over in Cardinals territory.
Dominating it. Watch Alonzo Spellman just take Terry Hardy, the tight end, and just jam him right back into the backfield. If you can win in this pit here, you're going to win the football game.
And now Aikman, looking for his first completion of the game, is now 0 for 4. Kwame Lassiter on the coverage. Excellent field position for the Cowboys, who lead the NFL this season in average drive start. And their average starting field position today, their own 49. They capitalized on a Cardinals turnover for their first touchdown, a Felipe Sparks interception, and then a special teams touchdown. Emmitt Smith down to the Arizona 42, a gain of 6. Smith with 60 yards on the ground, averaging 5 per carry.
And right now, the Cowboys are they're running at will. I mean, they're going to just pass the ball just for the sake of passing it now, because they could just keep running the ball all day long. The Cardinals defense just cannot stop them.
4 wide receivers set for the Cowboys, and they keep it on the ground. Chris Warren. David Barrett, the 4th round draft pick out of Arkansas, makes the tackle after a gain of 4, close to the first down marker.
Well, the defensive coordinator for the Cardinals, Dave McGinnis, he's doing everything that he can possibly do to try to cover up for the depleted troops that he's got out there. On that play there, he just came with a total all-out blitz.
Here come the chains.
We got it.
Just enough. Chris Warren picks up the first down. Dave Campo on the right, who played for Vince Tobin's brother Bill in college at Central Connecticut State. And Bill Tobin, a big influence on Dave Campo's coaching career.
He's got him chewing gum now on the sideline.
Yep. Keeps his mind off other things.
All right, keeps those 4-letter words contained.
From the 38, Emmitt Smith down to the 36-yard line, a gain of 2. Ronald McKinnon made the tackle. A big first half for the Cowboys' run game against the 30th ranked run defense of the Arizona Cardinals. Cowboys already over 100 yards on the ground.
We said right from the beginning of this game, Kenny, that's what the Cowboys really needed to do. I mean, if they wanted to take this game, you know, Dave Campo knew that he had an advantage behind his offensive line.
Movement on the line. Warren takes the handoff. Cardinals have already committed 5 penalties today, 1 more than their season average. This is number 6.
Offside
98 defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat second down.
That's Russell Davis, who again is in playing defensive tackle for the demoted Mark Smith. And rookie Mao Tozy is playing for the injured Tony McCoy.
2nd and 3. Chris Warren. 3 carries for Warren in the game today, 3 first downs.
Now what's happening is that the Cardinals defenders, desperate to stop something, are overcommitting. So they're taking their gaps and they're racing upfield to try to make a big play. And then they're creating a gaping cutback hole in the defense. Watch this here. Look at, so Warren, all he has to do is get him to commit to one side. And if he can come back to the other, he's going to find a big hole almost every time.
With under 4 minutes remaining in the half, incredibly, Aikman without a pass completion, yet the Cowboys lead 21-0, and they're on the move. Emmitt Smith brought down by Johnny Rutledge after a 1-yard pickup. Well, coming up, Tim, the second half of our first NFL Sunday doubleheader as the 5-2 Washington Redskins take on the struggling 2-5 Jacksonville Jaguars. And those fans watching here in Dallas will get game 2 of our doubleheader, the Redskins and the Jaguars, following the Cowboys and Cardinals.
And Howie Long's piece in the pregame was great, and absolutely to the point that the Redskins being at the top of their division is because of their defense.
Aikman's first completion of the day. Chris Warren forced out of bounds by Pat Tillman, but he picks up yet another Cowboys first down, a gain of 11. So Warren has touched the football 4 times, 4 first downs.
You know, Warren's really an interesting situation for the Cowboys because, you know, Dave Campos said to us yesterday when we got him to first come here from Seattle as a free agent, he had other opportunities. He was made some promises that he was going to be an integral part of the game plan. And last year under Chan-Gailey, he really wasn't. Dave Campo wanted to honor that commitment, and he's done it so far this year. And Warren is not disappointed.
Emmitt Smith looks to cut it back inside, but loses 4 yards on the play. Corey Chavis, along with Pat Tillman, in on the tackle.
But this is a good, you know, this is what the Cardinals defense needs. I mean, again, Dave McGinnis doing everything he can. You got Pat Tillman, your safety, blitzing into the line of scrimmage. You're trying to do anything. You're trying to outman them in the run game to come up with a couple big plays. Now they just have to string more than one in a row. They got to string a couple together and put the brakes on this Cowboys offense.
And this will take us to the 2-minute warning here in the first half in Dallas, with the Cowboys leading the Cardinals 21. Now
Guys up at the line.
Kenny Albert, Tim Green back in Dallas. Dave Campos' Cowboys outscored in their first 2 home games 82-38. Losses to the Eagles and the 49ers, but they are in control here today, leading the Cardinals 21-0.
And rushing at an average of 6.7 yards per carry. Controlling the line of scrimmage on the offense as well as the defense right now.
2nd and 15 from the Cardinals' 18-yard line. Aikman to the outside. That's the 3rd drop of the game by Cowboys receivers. Rocket Ismail, the intended receiver. Aikman now 1 for 6 with 3 drops.
You're going to see Ismail. He just comes. He breaks to the outside. The ball is right where it's got to be. He just drops it. I mean, this has been an epidemic that the Cowboys receivers have been under all season.
Cowboys have kept the ball on the ground for the most part. 3rd and 15. Aikman dumps it off. Penalty marker on the play. Chris Warren out of bounds. Short of the first down marker, but a penalty flag. And it's holding against the Cowboys.
Yeah, this is an important series here for this Cardinals defense. Tommy Bennett is the guy who's down, but I mean, they, you know, as I said, they need to string more than one big play together, and they've come up with a couple. And now this penalty.
Holding
73 offense, 10-yard penalty, still third down.
It's against Larry Allen. But this penalty, you know, now takes them, it makes the field goal range a little bit more suspect. If they can come up with another big defensive play here on third down.
The charge timeout, Arizona.
An injury with under 2 minutes and a half, so the Cardinals lose a timeout. It's their second. Aikman's pass is caught by the tight end Jackie Harris down to the 14. Gain of 14 yards, but well shy of the first down marker. Zach Walls made the tackle.
Timeout, Arizona. That's their third and final team timeout. It's a 30-second timeout.
And I think that's a smart timeout for the Cardinals, because whether this field goal is good or not, Vince Tobin knows his offense is at its best in the 2-minute drill.
So the field goal unit comes on for the Cowboys. They'll be right back.
Now,
Peter extending the Cowboys lead. It is now Dallas 24, Arizona nothing. Cedar, the rookie, now 9 of 10 on the season. Big first half for the Dallas Cowboys. Coming up on the Visa halftime report, JB.
Keyshawn, if Troy had a bad first half, if Keyshawn thought that they should make a quarterback switch, and Keyshawn came out and said yes. That won't happen, even though Troy Aikman's numbers aren't good.
Marte Jenkins stays in the end zone. What would you have said if I told you before the game that Aikman would have one completion in the first half?
I would say if they're going to be ahead 24-0, they've dominated on the ground game. The Cowboys' offensive line owns this field right now.
Jake Plummer on the other side, 10 of 14, but did throw the one interception, which led to the Cowboys' first touchdown. Cowboys by 24 points. Plummer to Marte Jenkins. His first reception of the game, 7th of the year, picks up the first down, a gain of 19 yards.
Cowboys defense wants to force the ball into Jenkins' hands. They're going to take Sanders and Boston and try to put 2 defensive backs on them throughout this 2-minute drill.
Cardinals no timeouts. A minute 23 left. Second quarter. From the 40. Plummer's pass is intercepted at midfield by Charlie Williams. His first interception this season, the second thrown today by Jake Plummer. Williams wondering if he was ruled down.
Holding on the field, the pass was intercepted, the runner's down by contact.
He was.
Pittman just runs right up the seam. And the timing between him and Plummer is not there. Pittman stopped. Plummer threw in anticipation that he was going to continue on. Also, that ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, or Plummer's arm was tipped. And Williams makes a nice play on it. Oh, Leon Lett's the guy who tipped it.
First career interception for Charlie Williams, who just returned last week. He had knee surgery during the offseason and then picked up a staph infection and could not play until last week's game.
And I think Williams is one of the reasons why the Cowboys were much better last week on their third down defense. They've had the worst third down defense in the league, but getting Williams back, I think, is going to beef them up when they play that nickel defense. Nickel being the 5th defensive back to come into the passing defense.
Which is an interception down by contact. Hands is called interception, first down Dallas.
So Charlie Williams breathes a sigh of relief after his first career interception in 6 NFL seasons. And the Cowboys, again, with terrific field position.
And all 3 of their timeouts.
Yes. And a minute 17 remaining in this first half. Aikman to the air on first down, looking for James McKnight. He makes the catch. And he was pulled down on the 2-yard line. A 48-yard pass play from Aikman to McKnight.
And a wonderfully thrown football by Troy Aikman.
Timeout, Dallas.
McKnight has the speed. He outruns Tommy Knight, and Aikman dropped that ball in there beautifully. And that feels good for Troy Aikman.
His longest completion of the season.
And look at Eric Williams saying, "You're back. You're back, my man. You're back."
Well, Dave Campo told us yesterday the veterans have not lost any confidence in Troy Aikman, and they set the tone for the rest of this Dallas Cowboys team.
And I just think the way the players and the way Dave Campo have carried themselves throughout the struggles that Aikman has had since his return after his concussion in the opener has been extraordinary. The way Emmett Smith and Eric Williams, the way these guys, Darren Woodson, have rallied behind Aikman, and then Randall Cunningham. I saw Randall Cunningham before the game, and I said, I just want you to know, I think the way you've carried yourself with the dignity and the poise has been just absolutely tremendous. Cunningham never questioning the decision for the Cowboys to stay with Aikman.
Chris Warren bottled up back at the 5-yard line by Zach Walls. A loss of 3.
Stop by number 52, Zach Walls.
2nd and goal coming up from the 5. Clock continues to run.
You have to
Timeout,
appreciate
Dallas. That's
Now-
the second charge timeout. It's a 30-second timeout.
Now the Cowboys call timeout with 38 seconds remaining.
is it. You see the miscommunication there between Warren and Stepnowski. One guy has to take
Timeout,
one and the other has to
Dallas.
be picked up.
That's their third and final charge
By
timeout.
Warren.
It's a 30-second timeout.
You know, if the Cowboys' offensive line has had a weakness this season, it really has been on the blitz pickup. And we saw it a couple of weeks ago against the 49ers and then against the Carolina Panthers as well. But when it comes to controlling the line of scrimmage on the ground game today, these guys have done exactly what we said they had to do from the beginning of this game. They've taken advantage of a Cowboys defense, of an Arizona Cardinals defense that has really struggled with injuries.
14 seconds to go in the half. Coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris with scores and highlights from around the National Football League in Week 8, plus the Fox Sports ticker with up to the second stats. That's all coming up on the Visa Halftime Report. 14 seconds to go. 3rd and goal for the Cowboys back at the 12-yard line following the sack. Movement on the line, penalty flags. Aikman to the end zone, and he overthrows McKnight. Down to 10 seconds.
It's going to be on Mark Smith.
Offside, 93 defense. The 5-yard penalty, repeat third down.
And that is the 7th Arizona penalty.
You know, Mark Smith for several years was the strongest interior, or the strongest defensive lineman for the Cardinals. And last year he had some major knee surgery and really has not been the same since he came back. He had a contract dispute. He signed a tender offer of about $1 million a year, and then on top of that held out a training camp. So he has really had a kind of spotted career.
Now 3rd and goal from the 7th. Aikman looking end zone. And a marker. Tom Knight made contact with James McKnight. And that is the first pass interference penalty this season against the Cardinals.
1-yard line, first down.
They had not been called for pass interference over their first 6 games.
Well, if this was going to be a touchdown, it's not a bad play by Knight. And you see he clearly did interfere and the ball was in the air, because The Cowboys now only have 6 seconds, no timeouts. So they've got 1 play to punch it in.
If they don't get in, they will not have time to send in the field goal unit. No timeouts.
Cowboys with a run offense out on the field. Now maybe they're going to send in the kicker.
Delay a game offense, 5-yard penalty.
The play clock wound all the way down, so the Cowboys called for delay of game, and Dave Campo will send on the field goal unit. Tim Cedar hit from 32 earlier this quarter. This will be a 24-yard attempt. Micah Noor is the holder. Cedar now 2 for 2. Of Matt Tillman for the second half kickoff from Micah Noor. Jenkins from the 3-yard line. Out across the 25 to the 27. A 24-yard return. Pepe Zellner made the special teams tackle. So the Cardinals go to work on their first possession in this second half. Only 25 rushing yards, 95 total yards for Arizona.
Well, I think the other thing that we don't have here for Arizona is they had 8 penalties and they've got 2 turnovers. So everything really has gone wrong for the Cardinals that could have gone wrong. And over here, the big number for the Cowboys is 108 yards on the ground and domination up front by their offensive line.
Jake Plummer in the first half, 11 of 16, but 2 interceptions, which both led to Cowboys points. David Boston makes the catch on first down, brought down by Ryan McNeil after a gain of 4 yards. Cardinals shut out in the first half. They punted 3 times. Plummer picked off twice. And the big 4th down play by the Cowboys.
Yeah, that was an important play there, led by Alonzo Spellman, who just took the tight end Terry Hardy and just pushed him right back into the backfield.
2nd and 6. Michael Pittman, who had a rough time in the first half, gained only 7 yards on his first 6 carries, picks up 1. So it will be 3rd and 5.
This is a really nice play by Greg Ellis, the defensive end for the Cowboys. He just came off his block, and it was textbook play. He gets up, watch him right here, watch him get up underneath L.J. Shelton. Look at him, he jacks him back, controls him, sheds him, and makes a tackle.
Third and 5. Cardinals send in 4 wide receivers. Plummer's pass caught by Pittman, but he's tackled from behind by Pepe Zellner. 2 yards shy of the first down marker, so the Cardinals will be forced to punt once again.
And Kenny, I think for the Cardinals coming out of halftime, I think that they had to have a conversation among themselves in the locker room at halftime and just say, look, you know, we're getting swamped right now. It's 27-0. We've got to just settle down and try to restart this thing. Try to go back to our original game plan and see if we can dominate in the second half the way the Cowboys did in the first. I think it's going to be a very tough task.
Wayne McGarity bottled up this time, a return of only 2 yards. Pat Tillman.
Turnovers and a domination on the line of scrimmage by the Cowboys offensive line.
Another big hole for Emmitt Smith as he picks up here in the second half where he left off in the first by gaining 9 yards.
And I think, you know, you see a little bit of Larry Allen at work here with Mark Stepnowski. And Allen is able to, they can execute this combo block perfectly, where they start to block the same guy together, and then, you know, they'll start to block here, and then Allen slips off and picks up the linebacker.
They've both gone to the Pro Bowl 5 times. 2nd and 1. Smith has the first down and more. Out to the 36-yard line, a gain of 9 more yards. Tom Knight finally brought him down.
You know, really, Kenny, not to disparage anyone. I mean, Mao Tosi is a 5th-round pick. He's a rookie right here going against Larry Allen. But watch Allen. This is just physical domination. And Allen gets up under him. He's on him. He works him around. I mean, you know, Emmitt Smith runs right past Tosi because Tosi's just trying to keep his pads on.
Welcome to the NFL.
Yeah, that's not an easy task for anyone.
Tosi's first professional start. Rookie out of Idaho. The inside handoff to the fullback, Robert Thomas. And he forces his way to the 45. So 3 consecutive runs of 9 yards for the Cowboys.
Yeah, and it starts up front. Watch Larry Allen on this play again. Again, he's going on Tosi here. And watch what he does. He's dominating. He's under him. He's into him. He's driving him back and then right down into the ground.
Second and 1 from the 45. Again, it's the fullback Thomas. And Robert Thomas, who scored his first professional touchdown last week against the Giants, picks up the first down. He was a linebacker in college at Henderson State and has made the transition, replacing your former teammate at Syracuse, Moose Johnston.
Who is now our counterpart on another network.
Working with our former colleague, Kevin Harlan. The offensive leaders for the Cowboys. Emmitt Smith, 75 yards on the ground. Aikman to the air. It's Robert Thomas again. Down to the Arizona 44-yard line. The Cowboys offense operating at will here today.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And you can sense the hopelessness of this Cardinals defense. And I think it's compounded by the fact that every time their offense has had opportunities, they've squandered them. When they've gotten some kind of a drive going, it's ended in a turnover or a failure to convert on 4th down. So that affects the mentality of these defenders.
2nd and 3, Emmitt Smith. Another first down for the Cowboys, down to the Cardinals' 41-yard line.
Emmitt Smith. Tackled by number 96.
Well, there's no question, Kenny, that this kind of performance and this kind of game is exactly what the Dallas Cowboys needed. And I talked to Dave Campo yesterday and Jerry Jones, Cowboys owner, and you know, Dave Campo just said, he said, look, we have to win this game. We have really hung the hopes of this season on this game, of revitalizing any chance of the playoffs.
Like clockwork, 10-yard pickup. Emmitt Smith down to the Cardinals 31.
Dispirited defense. That's what Emmitt Smith is running into and running through. I mean, even the wide receivers are out there laying blocks on people. No, I think both Cowboys wide receivers on that play, there's one there. And then the Rocket had another. I mean, the wide receivers are even getting in on the action.
Emmitt Smith, 87 yards on the ground on 19 carries. Ismael in motion. Emmitt down to the 27-yard line. Cowboys using the clock. 8 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. They lead 27-0 over the Arizona Cardinals. Both teams 2-4, and you got the feeling during the week that whichever team won this game would feel like they are back in the NFC East race, while the loser will drop to 2-5. Emmitt Smith hearing the cheers. 92 yards. Replaced by Chris Warren. Here's Warren on first down. Inside the 25. A gain of 3. And when Emmitt Smith carries the ball 20 or more times, the Cowboys usually win.
I think when the Cowboys are a playoff team and when they have won championships and have been a dominant team, it really did start with that run game. And I think it's a combination of Emmitt Smith and that offensive line. big, they're strong, they're athletic, and mean too.
2nd and 6 off the play fake to Warren. Aikman looking end zone. Rocket Ismail, touchdown Cowboys. First touchdown catch of the season for the Rocket.
We talked about it earlier and how Rocket practiced the entire week this week, and Troy told us yesterday that he felt he had his connection, he had his timing down with Rocket, and he dropped that pass in there beautifully. He really did, and Rocket did a nice job of turning around, keeping concentration, and catching it over the shoulder of Tommy Knight.
Tim Cedar for the point after. And the Cowboys lead is now 34-0, a season high 34 points for the Cowboys. Marte Jenkins takes it out from 2 yards deep. And Jenkins is tackled as he crossed the 20 by Orantes Grant. 34-0 Cowboys.
Rocket. So Aikman knows he's got a one-on-one matchup, and Rocket just beats Knight with his speed. So a nice read by Troy Aikman and a nice route by Rocket.
Plummer from the 22 nearly intercepted. George Teague was right there. Plummer has been picked off twice today, once by Felipe Sparks and the other Charlie Williams.
Well, this is a situation now for the Cardinals. It's absolutely desperate, almost hopeless, and they just have to play that 2-minute offense, and that's what they're doing. They just have to push the ball downfield relentlessly.
2nd and 10. Plummer's pass is intercepted. There's number 3. It's Darren Woodson, who was Felipe Sparks' high school teammate in Phoenix. They also played in college together at Arizona State. So both Phoenix natives have interceptions against their hometown Cardinals. And for Darren Woodson, it's his first pick of the year.
Well, it's an outstanding read by Darren Woodson. He reads the route. He's got the coverage right here, and he makes the break on the ball again because he can. He can make this break aggressively because he knows he has help over the top. Beautiful, beautiful stretch out. I don't know if that was a catch. You know that? Watch this here. Watch this ball. He didn't catch it. They should.
The Cowboys get the play off. It's a moot point. Chris Warren cutting to the outside. Down to the 22. A gain of 3 yards. And Woodson handing the ball to a couple of Cowboys fans who wear his number. 34-0 lead for the Cowboys. 2nd and 7 from the Arizona 22. Cowboys have scored on their last 5 possessions. Warren, penalty markers on the play. Penalty number 9 committed by Arizona.
Offside, 94 defense, a 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Corey Sears, the guilty party, and for an NFL update, let's return to James Brown of the Fox Network Center.
Well, the parties involved here for Kansas City, Elvis Grbac and Derek Alexander. How much were they involved? Try of the 30-yard variety. That put him up 34-14. Kurt Warner of the Rams, broken finger on his throwing hand. He's out. Trent Green is in. Kenny and Tim.
Thanks, JB. So a broken finger suffered by Kurt Warner in the game in Kansas City. Aikman's pass complete. Ismail inside the 10. Pat Tillman and Tom Knight combining on the stop. A gain of 8 yards.
Well, Kenny, as you said, the Cowboys on the last 5 possessions have scored, and they're running at will, and now they're beginning to pass at will as well.
A late flag on the last play, a false start against the Cowboys. So this forces Dallas back to the 22. Under 5 minutes to play, third quarter. 92 yards on the ground for Emmitt Smith. He's out of the game right now. McKnight. Good second effort after he was initially tripped up by Corey Chavis.
Troy Aikman sees McKnight isolated out there with just Chavis to get him. So it's a hitch route. Just turns, catches it, and it's just McKnight and Chavis. McKnight's able to pick up the first down. Chavis, though, does at least prevent him from scoring a touchdown. You got to look for some kind of bright spot, right?
First and goal, Cowboys from the 10. And a timeout called by Troy Aikman. Cowboys. Jackie Harris, the tight end, shifting. The handoff to Chris Warren. And he is in for his second touchdown of the day.
Wow. Larry Allen pulled around on this play here, and it looked like 10 pins. I mean, bodies just started flying. Watch big number 73 pull around here on this power O. Look at that thing just open up, and Corey Chavis and a couple other Cardinals defenders are just flying on the ground in the end zone.
Tim Cedar has had a busy day, 2 field goals, and this his 5th point after. Cowboys highest scoring day since opening week last year when they beat the Redskins 41-35 in overtime. Marte Jenkins all the way out to the 37-yard line. A 42-yard return with 3:51 remaining, third quarter. Coming up tonight on Fox. Martinez with the game-winning run. They will go at it again tonight in the Bronx.
I'm going to admit, I'm like Jimmy Kimmel in that I'm rooting for the Mets just because they're the underdog.
Thomas Jones on the first down carry. We send it back to another underdog. He's on that pregame, said he can't get too many words in, JB.
Yeah, can you believe that, Kenny? Take a look. Trent Green, of course, in for the injured Kurt Warner. What does he do? He finds tight end Roland Williams. By the way, got a great block from Marshall Faulk. 31 yards for the score. Second touchdown toss for Green. 34-21. KC, back to Kenny and Tam.
Thanks, JB. Boy, did Trent Green, it's like getting the keys to your dad's Ferrari, you know? I mean, that is some offense to be able to slide into the driver's seat, fire that baby up, and take control.
Finally signed as a free agent, big contract last year from the Washington Redskins, and suffered the injury against the San Diego Chargers in preseason. Not many people in and out of football even heard of Kurt Warner until Trent Green suffered the injury last year.
Well, and I think the real telling thing is that Trent Green, all the while Kurt Warner was playing and became the Super Bowl MVP, league MVP, everyone kept saying Trent Green is even better.
Plummer taken down. Sacked for the second time today. It's Demetrius Underwood. His first sack in the NFL.
Well, this is really good by Demetrius Underwood, because how many players have you seen get a grasp on Jake Plummer out here in this open space and then lose him? So Underwood really showing his great athleticism. He starts to jump up, then he gets one hand on, he gets another hand, and he just stays with him. He doesn't flop down or flop around. He stays with him, stays on his feet, and gets the sack.
Underwood's problems last year off the field well chronicled, and he comes through with his first career sack for the Cowboys. Wayne McGarity, who brought one back earlier, this time is taken down at the 31.
Defend against that Rams offense.
And they're having a tough time today against the Chiefs, and they've also lost Kurt Warner. Emmitt Smith over the 100-yard mark for the second time this season. Only Barry Sanders and Walter Payton have more career 100-yard games. This is the 66th in the regular season for Emmitt.
And now this is just fun for this Cowboys offensive line and for Emmitt Smith, because they have the Cardinals defense right under their thumb, and now they're just squashing them.
It's his 10th 100-yard day against the Cardinals. He picked up 16 on that last play. First down from the 47. And a nice catch by James McKnight despite the coverage by Aeneas Williams. A gain of 15 more yards on McKnight's third catch of the afternoon.
This is why they brought McKnight here. This is the kind of play that he has the speed and the athleticism and the concentration to make. And if he can do this consistently, the Cowboys are going to find that they are in the playoff hunt. Watch McKnight here. Watch him work outside. He's being covered by one of the best in the game. And the hand gets in there, but he concentrates. You see his head, his eyes follow the ball right into his hands, and he makes the reception.
Jason Tucker now in at wide receiver for the Cowboys, along with Rocket Ismail. And the inside handoff to the fullback, Robert Thomas, his third carry of the game as time winds down in this third quarter. All Cowboys.
Ended up 11-5 and played all the way into the final rounds of the playoffs. So I think that's where the Cowboys' mindset is right now. They had to win today's game to really believe in their own internal propaganda, because internally they were saying, okay, you know, Troy had a bad game, but he'll come back, he'll get back to himself. And our offensive line and our run game hasn't been what it was, but we're getting better. And I think that happened today. And then defensively, they said, well, we're giving up a lot of points, but we're getting better. We're getting some guys healthy. And I think that today proved that out as well. To keep the whole thing in perspective, Kenny, you do have to realize that this Cardinals team is injury depleted, and then their effort today was not one of their best. Even if they were healthy, you know, there's just been a rash of penalties, 9 of them for 51 yards, 3 turnovers, just problem after problem for Vince Tobin's team in this game.
5-yard penalty, repeat third down.
Penalty number 10 on the Cardinals. 10 penalties, 3 turnovers, a punt return for a touchdown, 4 new defensive starters, and it all adds up to a 41-point deficit.
Dave McGinnis, who is really one of the fine people and fine defensive coordinators in this league, destined to be a head coach in the NFL.
Was nearly the head coach in Chicago last year. 3rd and 4, Aikman to the rocket. First down, Cowboys. Ismail down to the Arizona 10, a gain of 22.
Look at this smile. You have to be happy for Troy Aikman. I mean, Aikman is a guy who really embodies all the things that are good about the NFL. A guy who was just a class act and had a really rough game last week, and now you can see that it's starting to come back for him. He really threads this pass right through. You're going to see Tillman come in there right at the last second, and he just delivers it perfectly to the Rocket, as he did with his touchdown pass and also his long pass to James McKnight earlier in the game.
Emmitt Smith on 1st and goal down to the Arizona 5, a penalty flag on the field.
Kenny, I really like the way Emmitt Smith this week tried to compare Troy Aikman's situation to his back in 1997. He said, hey, you know, everyone said I was done, and that was back in 97.
Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. Bernie Kukar's microphone not working, but it is another Cardinals penalty, their 11th. Setting up 1st and goal on the 3. Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt forced back. Good job by the Cardinals defense, led by the middle linebacker, Ronald McKinnon.
And a nice penetration by Mark Smith, their defensive tackle.
Smith, who was very outspoken about his benching this week, he said on Thursday, "I'm still the best tackle on the roster."
Well, he doesn't lack for confidence. It really kind of reminds me of the way a cornerback has to be. You know, you just have to be indefatigable in your confidence.
94.
And then, you know, you have to admire that. I mean, Smith coming back from an injury, and sometimes when you're demoted and you're benched, you know, it spurs you on to play your very best.
Second and goal. Emmitt bouncing down to the 2. Corey Sears made the tackle. 2 minutes in, fourth quarter. Kenny Albert, Tim Green from Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas. Cowboys looking for their first home victory. And they lead 41-0. Third and goal upcoming from the 2-yard line. Chris Warren with 2 rushing touchdowns. Emmitt Smith has one. Rocket Ismail, a touchdown catch. And Wayne McGarity, a punt return into the end zone. Aikman to Robert Thomas. He reaches across for the touchdown. Pat Tillman thought he stopped Thomas, but then Thomas reached across. His second NFL touchdown, his second in as many weeks.
That was a beautiful effort by Robert Thomas. I mean, he was down and he just snuck that ball across the plane.
His touchdown last week, Tim, was his first since high school.
Well, watch him. He just breaks to the outside here, and Aikman dumps it in his hands. And look at this. Tillman, by all rights, has got him down. All he has to do is get that ball across the plane, and he did.
And even though he played linebacker in college, in NFL Europe, and in training camp last year for the Cowboys, he had the instincts on offense to reach across. And it's now 48-0. Cowboys in a rout. Back in Dallas, Troy Aikman's second touchdown pass. Robert Thomas, the recipient. Randall Cunningham warming up on the Cowboys sidelines with Dallas leading 48-0 over Arizona. Marte Jenkins. Oh, and Garrett Woodson makes the stop on special teams. A 22-yard return by Jenkins. We'll return to Texas Stadium after these messages.
Series game last night.
One of many stars out at Yankee Stadium. Plummer's pass on first down, caught by Michael Pittman as the first down. Well, sports fans of the Valley of the Sun anticipating the November 7th vote, Proposition 302, for a multi-purpose dome stadium, which would be publicly owned, funded by the Cardinals, the Fiesta Bowl, and through tourist taxes on hotels and rental cars, as well as a surcharge to stadium users. And we are told it's split right down the middle just weeks before Election Day.
Well, and I think the important thing about that is for everyone out in Arizona to understand is that unless you're using the facility, for, you know, and you're coming there to stay for with a hotel or a rental car or the organizations that use it, you don't have to pay a dime. So it really doesn't make sense not to give yourself a world-class facility at the cost of the people who are going to use it.
And Tim, right now for an NFL update, let's send it west to James Brown at the Fox Network Center.
Kenny and Tim, it's not St. Louis, it's Kansas City that's doing the scoring. Anders' 6-yard run, 40-21 Kansas City, a team that was averaging 22 points coming into this game. Marshall Faulk missed the last series with a bruised shoulder. Back to Kenny and Tim.
JB, I'm starting to doubt Terry Bradshaw's poetry, but no, I better not say that too loud or I'll lose my job.
Penalty marker as Plummer goes down. Was it Terry's poetry or Torrey's poetry?
No, Terry had a poem in the pregame show about the Rams offense and how good they were.
But did Terry write it or did Torrey write it?
Well, it was
think
good.
it was Terry?
I think so. Maybe they co-authored it.
Well, the Rams have not lost since the last game of the regular season last year in Philadelphia. They marched through the playoffs, and they started this season 6-0. Rams and the Vikings, the only undefeated teams in the NFL. And at last check, the Vikings were losing to the Buffalo Bills, 10-6. Plummer's pass is caught for a first down by David Boston. Boston still on his feet. Down to the 5-yard line. A 39-yard pickup from Plummer to Boston.
Well, you have to credit Jake Plummer's offensive line because with the game essentially over, they're still doing a nice job. They give him some protection, and he's able to move around back there and until Boston comes open, and then he delivers this pass. And then again, you see why the Cardinals are so excited about what David Boston brings to their team.
Thomas Jones. Jones inside the 2.
And believe me, right now, even though the Cardinals team knows that they've lost this football game, they want to score because it's bad enough to lose and to lose by this kind of a margin, but to be shut out is really a huge embarrassment. If you could be more embarrassed.
And remember, the Cardinals scored a season-high 32 in their first meeting with the Cowboys. Second and goal from the 3-yard line. Off the fake pitch, Plummer in trouble, throws to the end zone, and it's off the fingertips of the tight end, Chris Gedney.
Gedney, one of my former teammates in Syracuse and Liverpool High School graduate. Watch him come off here, and he does a nice job to get himself open. He comes back to the inside, but Plummer is just not able to put the ball down enough. And the reason why was because Alonzo Spellman did an outstanding job of staying home on the bootleg.
Third and goal from the 3. Quick drop. Plummer, corner of the end zone. Boston could not hold on. Terrific coverage by Ryan McNeil.
Ryan McNeil has really had a fine season so far this year for the Cowboys. The problems that they've had in their passing game and their passing defense, look at that concentration. That was really, really nice. Has been on the other side. They started out with Kareem Larimore, the rookie, and he struggled. Felipe Sparks came back and has gotten better and better, but McNeil has been pretty constant, and you could see on that play just why.
Cardinals go for it on 4th down. 4th and goal. And Plummer is stopped short. Do you think the Cowboys did not want him to cross the
they
goal
were
line?
hungry. They were hungry for the shutout.
4 Cowboys in pursuit, and they stopped Jake Plummer.
Excellent coverage by the Cowboys defense, and then outstanding reaction to come back and tackle Plummer. Look at this coverage. There's George Teague, and then he and Felipe Sparks pass off receivers. Watch Teague and Sparks. And watch these Cowboys defenders close in. There's Hennings and Wortham and Hambrick, Woodson.
So the Cowboys defense twice have stopped the Cardinals, and now Randall Cunningham with the Cowboys on top 48-0. Crowd chanting for Randall in their last home game. But a different story here today. They cheered Troy Aikman and the Cowboys during the opening introductions.
Testing, testing, testing.
Yes, it works, Bernie. 48-0 Cowboys with the lead, and Troy Aikman's day is over. 9 of 15, 154 yards, 2 touchdowns. So Randall Cunningham, who started 2 games earlier this year, including the game in Tempe, comes in at quarterback.
And I think it's important too, Kenny, to remember that early on in this game, Aikman at one point he was 0 for 3, he was 1 for 5, but 3 of those were just drops by his receivers. So once they got that straightened out, things have been very good for Troy Aikman. So those are good numbers, but even more importantly is the fact that the Cowboys came into this game. They ran the ball in a dominant fashion. They're about to go over 200 yards on the ground. And that kind of took the pressure off the Cowboys receivers and Troy Aikman, and they were able to methodically pick up a couple touchdowns of their own.
You think this week may be a little different than the last couple for Troy Aikman?
No, it's a huge relief. Look, for everything Troy Aikman has had in his life and has in his life, he admitted himself this was a difficult week and a difficult situation for him to be in.
Fans, media have talked about possible retirement, all the concussions, the lack of success he had the last couple of weeks, 5 interceptions last week, but he's turned things around here today. And the stories this week will concern what happened on the field today and not necessarily what something should have happened off the field.
Right. It's still not over, though, Kenny. I mean, again, you have to go back to the inadequacies of this Cardinals defense to realize that the Cowboys offense should have had nothing but this kind of success against a team that is so depleted by injuries.
And a tough task for the Cowboys next week. The Jacksonville Jaguars will visit, and although they are struggling at 2-5, they play Washington on Fox later today. Certainly a formidable opponent.
Well, I think 3 of their next 4 games are against formidable defenses. You got Jacksonville's defense, and then you've got Philadelphia's defense at Philly, and then they've got Cincinnati, and they're not very strong on defense. And then they got to come back and play at Baltimore. And the Ravens defense is very strong.
3rd and 8. Cowboys from deep in their own territory, and Chris Warren is stopped at the 8-yard line, so the Cowboys will punt it away. Pat Tillman made the tackle. Cowboys will up their record to 3-4, and Tim mentioned the next 4 opponents: Jacksonville at Philadelphia, Cincinnati at Baltimore, and then Minnesota. So the schedule is not easy in any sense. It's never easy in the NFL, but 4 tough opponents out of the next 5. While the Cardinals return home, they will host the New Orleans Saints next week. Saints with a record of 3-3. Playing in Atlanta this afternoon. Matt Cody is brought down at the 46 after a 5-yard return.
Pretty good break, and that's what James Allen is. James Allen has that ability to.
Now the backup quarterback for the Chiefs is
Producer Rich Russo, Director Peter Bleckner, Associate Director Bob Grossman, Broadcast Associate Robert Slosby. Our technical producer is Kevin McRoby. The studio produced by Scott Agnerson, directed by Bob Levy. The Associate Director Jennifer Love. The Senior Producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. And the Executive Producers are Ed Gorin and David Hill. On 1st down from the 46, Plummer takes off, has room. Plummer is the Cardinals' leading rusher in today's game as he gains 21. He also led Arizona in rushing last week.
Well, it's outstanding coverage downfield, and a pretty nice job of the Cardinals' offensive line to protect Jake, and that was kind of a different slide.
Plummer in trouble. He escapes. He throws. And it's Chris Gedney, your guy. Syracuse, Liverpool High School, and Gedney makes the catch down at the 1-yard line.
I think Gedney is not only my guy, but a lot of people's guy because of the way that he came back. He suffered from Crohn's disease and underwent major surgery. And here he is here. He's just going to break down on this post route. Jake avoids the rush, and he finds Gedney. And he was out of football for a year. Came back and has come back strong. He's got sure hands, and he's a decent blocker. Great guy.
Pittman over the top. Penalty flags. What else would you expect when the Cardinals finally reach the end zone? More flags.
That'll make it 12 if it is in fact on the Cardinals.
No penalty, says Bernie Kukar, so it is a touchdown. Second of the year for Pittman. I still consider Gedney your guy.
Well, yeah, he's a great guy. Well, we went to the same high school, we went to the same college.
What is it about tight ends coming out of Syracuse? We saw Roland Williams from the Rams score a touchdown earlier.
I don't know. I mean, I was a defensive lineman, so.
Do you ever consider shifting to the other side?
No, I don't have that kind of athleticism. Look at Pittman. Speaking of athleticism, a pretty nice leap.
Last time we saw Cary Blanchard, excuse me, Tim, was when he slipped on the opening kickoff. Now out for the point after.
Let it go, let it go.
So the Cowboys' lead has been cut to 48-7.
Margin as Christian takes the screen pass all the way up.
Next time the Chiefs have the ball.
And here comes that red sea. Let's see if Trent Green can part it.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Hakeem in motion to the right. And they go to Hakeem. Hasty.
And then just have the guys run that little drag route shallow, get it in their hands and let them try and break a tackle and get up the field. But that time the Bengals gave him the catch, but still tackled him short of the first down, and another crucial 3rd down conversion for the Broncos.
It is. They need about 4. Gracie throws and makes the connection.
That's his longest of the season. Steve Christie, 48 yards. A 6-point lead for the.
Detroit was last.
Chandler down the middle for Jefferson.
Another chunk of yards. Great throw by Chandler.
25.
With a TE stunt, tackle first and second, come back inside.
Malcolm's season premiere in 2 weeks on Fox.
Our game summary here in Dallas: 348 total yards for the Cowboys, including 201 on the ground.
You know, Kenny, we've talked a lot about the Cowboys offense, but you have to appreciate this effort here by the Cowboys defense. They have limited an Arizona offense that really has been pretty good this year. Arizona came into this game with the 15th ranked offense, 9th in passing yards. So you have to certainly agree with Dave Campo, the head coach, who said, you know, our defense is really improving.
Onside kick is recovered by Tillman. After it deflected off the Cowboys' Dexter Coakley. Kwame Lassiter fell on it. It hit off Coakley, so the Cardinals retain possession.
Yeah, this is how not to try to recover an onside kick. Watch, Coakley runs right into the ball, and instead of fielding it, it just bounces right back out.
So the Cardinals back on offense, trailing 48-7 from their own 34-yard line. Dexter Coakley wishes he had that one back.
The nice thing about being up 48-7 is you can just kind of laugh about it, make a joke of it, because it doesn't really matter.
Plummer off the pump fake, airing it out, and Matt Cody was out of bounds.
Cody did a nice job of just catching it, but I think the placement was a little bit too far outside. Watch it here. Jake Plummer drops it in, and it's the right distance. From that,
pretty close.
Yeah, from that it looked complete, but we've got an isolation shot, and I think you'll see here that there's the catch. Boy, I don't know. You're right. It is kind of close. Yeah, I think they're going to challenge him.
Timeout, Arizona.
Cardinals call
That's their
timeout.
first charge timeout.
And they made.
After reviewing the play, the ruling stands. His foot did not get in, both feet did not get in bounds, so it's an incompleted pass. A second charge timeout to Arizona.
So the Cardinals lose 2 timeouts. They call timeout to decide whether to challenge, and then they lose a second timeout because the ruling was not
evidence to overturn the call made on the field.
So 2nd and 10 from the 34. The delay to Thomas Jones. His best effort of the day. Out to midfield, a gain of 16 for the 7th overall selection in the first round. He broke all of Tiki Barber's rushing records at Virginia. So the Cardinals move the chains. 1st and 10 from midfield with under 5 minutes to play. Trailing Dallas 48-7. Plummer dumps it off to Jones. Stopped about 2 yards shy of the first down marker by Darren Woodson.
You know, one of the best things now for the Cowboys defensive linemen is that they know essentially they can just rush the passer. I mean, they can line up and they don't have to worry about playing the run. As you look at Brandon Noble, the nose guard there, and this is when you're really likely to pad your sack total in situations like this.
Plummer's pass complete. Matt Cody. Cody picks up the first down. Brandon Noble made the stop.
Cowboys only rushing 3 men. And again, the Cardinals doing a nice job of protecting Jake Plummer. Plummer sacked on the season this year only 6 times. Including and then 1 more today, which makes it 7.
Thomas Jones, another first down for the Cardinals. Cowboys with their 48 points. Most points in a game for the Cowboys since Super Bowl 27, when they scored 52 against the Buffalo Bills in Pasadena. And it's the most points scored by the Cowboys in a regular season game since 1980.
And everything went right for the Cowboys right from the start. Chad Hennings tipped the ball and they had an interception. Leon Lett tipped the ball and they had an interception. McGarity ran back a punt for a touchdown.
11 Cardinals penalties. Plummer to the end zone, incomplete. He was looking for Sanders.
Plummer's pass intended.
And the Cowboys will win for the 11th straight time in the regular season here at home over the Cardinals. Arizona did win that playoff game 2 years ago, and Plummer told us yesterday one of his biggest memories from that playoff win here in Dallas, how quiet it was in Texas Stadium in the second half.
It's quiet here now, too.
But for different reasons.
Yes, exactly.
And it will be a quiet plane trip home for the Cardinals. Michael Pittman. Pittman adding to his totals. Thanks to Eric Merlis and Barry Hockhauser in the booth, crunching the numbers, along with Mark Cole and Eric Norton down in the truck. A lot of numbers here today, especially for the Cowboys offense. And there's McGarity, who returned the punt for a touchdown earlier, his 2nd against the Cardinals this year.
There's Larry Allen, happy, fun. And I think you can talk about all the Cardinals' mistakes and penalties and turnovers, but really, when you get right down to it, the Cowboys controlled the line of scrimmage.
Solid effort on both sides, as Pittman is chased down by Charlie Williams, who has one of the 3 Dallas interceptions today. Sparks and Woodson with the others. Down to 2:17 remaining. Up next for Troy Aikman and the Cowboys, the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are also up next on Fox as they take on the 5-2 Washington Redskins.
And that's a game that I'm going to want to get to the airport, tune into. Everyone here in Dallas will see that game under the new NFL television rules, because today's Cowboys game was a sellout.
The 83rd in a row here at Texas Stadium. Thomas Jones works his way down to the 2-yard line as we hit the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining here in Dallas. All Cowboys.
3 wide receivers in. They went inside to Stanley Pritchett.
Saints, you give them those 10 to 15 seconds, keep the ball on the ground.
That was a blitz on the long throw, not the one to Gonzalez, the one earlier that he took one right up.
Both 5 and 2. Thomas Jones on the third down handoff from Glover, 3rd and 2 from the 3, and Jones was stopped.
Redskins being led by their defense, helped along by the former Dallas Cowboy Deion Sanders.
Well, the Aikman fans have hung in.
And I think that's great, and I really appreciated how I'm sure that Troy Aikman appreciated it more than me, but how the Dallas fans welcomed him when the introductions took place at the beginning of the game with just resounding cheers for Troy Aikman.
4th and 2. Cowboys have stopped the Cardinals twice. Jones fumbled. Cowboys say they have it.
Doesn't really matter who's got it, I guess, unless you've got an incentive clause.
Ball on the bottom of the pile.
Aaron Woodson wants it.
Well, the chains are coming out, so the Cardinals recovered, and the question is, did Jones pick up enough for the first down? It was 4th and 2.
He may have. I thought he was short anyway, but he may have.
Nope. So the Cardinals will lose it on downs to the Eagles and the loss to the 49ers. But here today they picked off Jake Plummer 3 times. The offense took care of things on their end. Evan Smith 112 yards. Troy Aikman 2 touchdown passes. Randall Cunningham takes a knee as the Cowboys and the Cardinals split the season series. Both teams winning in their home stadium. So the Cowboys up their record to 3 and 4 under first-year head coach Dave Campo. His first home victory as Cowboys head coach. And the Cardinals will drop to 0 and 3 on the road, 2 and 5 overall. And this will be the last play. Some pushing and shoving on the field. Troy Aikman now 17 and 4 lifetime against the Cardinals. A 48-7 rout here this afternoon. Aikman 154 yards in the air. The Cowboys rushed for 200 yards. A victorious afternoon for Troy Aikman and the Dallas Cowboys, as the Cardinals lose for the 11th consecutive time in the regular season.